Who knows? They could even aggro tri-lane. As we do have a Juggernaut against a Bat Rider, which is great counter pick. Shouldn't really be overly threatened by sticky napalm like many safe lane carries are.
And the early smoke aggression here as they're going to go to the left, and they might just run into YapzOr, who's got the high ground and should be perfectly fine. The smoke breaks, they know something's up. And who will be the first team is YapzOr that says it first.
A little bit of a greeting to PSG.LGD. May not have expected this little wraparound from them, but it was still in good position to get away, especially with the boots first. Every single one of these smoke firsts that I've seen, they very rarely do we get the first blood. Seems like teams are always very well set up on high ground areas.
That, of course, coming from our observer, JJ, our man in the sky, as well as Nox providing the stats for us, and Vlad in the control room, as Secret just holding the line here.
PSG.LGD have just kind of gone all in this bottom area of the map. Leave Juggernaut to top because they know can't really die. And trading 2-for-2 bounty runes here. What about our mid matchup? It's going to be Leshrac versus Shadow Fiend.
And he's going to go for the build, right? He's going to go for the Yules build.
Yeah.
But that's where SD is really good too, because you can't purge yourself with Yules.
Right.
Yules defensively on the SF doesn't do anything, so the BKB is going to be pretty important here for him.
Good body blocking. Managed to get with the creep wave, is going to kill all of it and do a lot of damage to Nisha there as he kind of shows up. And look at FY. He's going to do that thing that we see many supports do at this point. Oh, actually, I thought it was going to be poison, but instead he goes for disruption instead.
Yeah, he denies him some creeps, and an SD against Spectre doesn't even feel that bad because of the Desolate.
Yeah.
You actually can potentially just wreck the Spectre. Plus, you're able to save yourself. You spawn more illusions, you run them with you. It's actually quite a nice counter, plus the break mechanic that you constantly apply onto the spec.
And the illusions can, in this sort of situation, under the tower, can help you just harass under towers. The illusions tank the tier 1 for you. But FY, he did what he came to do. He just kind of harassed a little bit, leaves lane. Now going to try and deal with the bottom. Puppey almost dying there, but Xnova's quite low. And it looks like Xnova's going to be the one to first die. Puppey with the first blood chalice. Now this is not a surprise to Xnova. As we saw he had I think the 3rd most deaths on average in the first 10 minutes. He is definitely a very sacrificial vibe position. It is going to be able to win chalice this creep wave.
They're hoping that they get a free lane up at top, and they know that the Darkseer will recover just fine. So the idea behind it, Zai getting really low here. FY not really gonna have any sort of follow-up as Zai already started eating the Tango, but I think what they want to do anyways is keep all the focus on this bottom lane. Don't have the Earthshaker rotate towards this mid lane.
Yeah, that's where things could get really dangerous. We're not expecting Leshrac just to die to raises, but one Fissure and a double raise nuke.
Plus, I think Lesh does fine against SF.
Yeah.
Early. You have kill potential on him too, which is the really annoying part for SF. But SF, with the help of the Earthshaker, of course, can get kills. And that's exactly why YapzOr hanging around this area. It's going to be invised up.
Oh, this could be a massive kill. The Fissure's going to go out. There it is. Doesn't give the kill to the SF. Takes it for himself with that Fissure.
And
but a great rotation.
It's got to be so frustrating for Maybe. He wanted that 1v1.
And he's denied that much. The SF getting that free lane for that small period of time now means he's 11-3. Still a big lead for the Leshrac, 16-5, but another Fissure block. As YapzOr returns once again, maybe he's going to run down river. YapzOr is just going to try and harass him up as best as possible.
Yeah, but with the south mid one, just chasing him to the left. Here and there, as YapzOr doesn't have a Fissure for another 5 seconds, and Xnova's now going to come in, but he's going to lay out the stun onto the Shadow Fiend. They shouldn't have enough damage for this. Only level 2 lightning, no ulti. If you go this build cap, it's really hard for you to get kills like that. You have to rely on your level 6. Once you get your level 6 though, kills will come aplenty. You get on top of the SF, he can only short raise you if you land the stun.
You know, I kind of like this 5-position matchup, or rather FY's 4. Shadow Demon against the Bat Rider. Because as long as you get a stick, right, he's going to spam Sticky Napalm, you're going to spam Shadow Poison, and very, very often Batrider's not going to feel comfortable fighting you because you're also getting these really big stacks, and if FY actually lands one last one, it might be the kill. It is.
That's a solo kill right there for FY.
And that's why you like the Shadow Demon versus the Batrider. 2-1 is PSG.LGD got their first kill on the board. Xnova's going to be blocked out there by the Fissure. Puppy tried to get in front of him for some body blocking on the way out as well, but
the double stun. Xnova getting a little bit low, but he's pinging. He's going to fight Puppy, but I feel like he should just run back.
yeah, the Darkseer is on his way. He's a little close, and he can pop the Mango if he wants to go for the stun. Now Chalice is close enough, might be able to go for it. The Fissure, he's going to try and separate him. He needs to be able to save Puppy here. There it is. Blocks out Chalice, who had the Ion Shell on him.
Both supports just wasting each other's time, really. As Zai wants to get this bounty rune. FY trying to deny it, and he in fact will take his own, and this will be a 2-for-2 split.
An early smoke from YapzOr. We don't see too many smokes from Team Secret, but YapzOr is closing in on Soul Ring. If he could get one more kill on maybe Celestrak, help mid one catch up again in CS, it would be a big win. But instead, he's going to run to FY, who actually plants a ward, so YapzOr probably got that intel. Bring some items for mid one. They bring a sentry. No, they don't.
They got it. So they indeed know.
Give it to mid one too.
Give him that gold.
They know that as long as he has a good laning phase, right, he should show up in this game pretty strong.
And Xnova gonna run into Puppy here, but still only level 2.
Everyone's just rotating. And look at Xnova, he's just booking it. Straight to mid one. They do manage to get the disruption. There is going to be the haunt out. Mid one's going to be hit by the Stormbolt, but Xnova doesn't have any damage himself. And FY is going to be eventually run down by Nisha. With the Fatal Bonds on maybe, it made it so the Leshrac just really couldn't commit too much, even as the Sven got the stun on the SF.
It's not the worst trade in the world for them there.
No, the haunt being used, not too bad.
He might just die here. Doesn't actually know he's gonna get healed up though, and YapzOr still sticking around the area. Xnova gonna lead with the stun, the follow-up from the Leshrac.
This also lets them get a lot of poisons, the long-range disruption, one more poison out, but mid one, he's already healed enough. YapzOr once again. Just great positioning by him, always being able to get these defensive fissures.
I mean, they know they want to go aggressive on the SF to at least trade out kills to even up Maybe's lane, and the Shadow Fiend should be a very easy kill for them, theoretically. So they're going to run into Chalice here, who...
Chalice actually running through the SF, but to the safety of Xnova, will be fine.
And he's going to reset just a little bit, but they did use the Haunt just to get the kill onto the Shadow Demon. No other kills were exchanged. And it does mean that the Jug is having a very free lane up at top. Like we talked about, it's impossible for the Batrider. It's unless Ame really messes up, it should be impossible for him to die.
What do you think about this support Sven so far? Every single time I look at one of these ganks, I always think to myself, like, man, an Earth Spirit or Spirit Breaker or something would have provided a lot more damage to
what
these
they're
ganks.
probably trying to do is bait Secret into thinking it was going to be the carry Sven.
Yeah.
Switch things around. They last pick the Jug. So you have the hard counter to the Batrider as well. But it's a bit risky. You're hiding your draft at the cost of having a hero that you don't really want to have.
Bit of a suboptimal support hero, perhaps, as they are going to go on to Nisha. A lot of damage coming out from that Ion Shell, but the Fissure with the Fatal Bonds means Xnova is actually dropping really fast here, but the Omni Slash sticks on Nisha all the way, but all that healing.
And it actually ends up on the worst possible side.
Yeah, if he could have stuck on the Spectre, if the last bounce had stuck on him, he would have been able to get a spin, and perhaps Nisha would have died, but...
Yeah, Nisha definitely would have died. He had no dagger.
At least PSG.LGD have created the space to maybe take this tier 1 tower.
That was so unlucky.
Yeah.
It was very lucky, and then it became pretty terrible for him, as Ame did rotate down for this.
Gonna try and get the disruption, but PSG.LGD, I feel like they're getting a little bit ahead of themselves. The Batrider is now rotated to the tier 1. He's going to try and cut off some of these heroes. He doesn't have the lasso, but he can slow him down with a sticky napalm. FY, he's definitely going to be caught here. Disruption going out. They're really going to try and fight this one. Ame showing up with the spin, only doing a limited amount of damage. Now they do have the lasso. He picked up level 7 off of that kill. That means they're going to be able to maybe catch Ame, but they actually can't do enough. And now, Maybe's here to be able to run down YapzOr. That's going to be one. Haunt out, doing a lot of damage to Maybe. He dies underneath the tier 1 tower. Nisha didn't even have to commit for it. He goes for the backline. He's going to go for X-Nova. One more swing. Down the E gets it. He does. A long-range swing from Nisha finishes off the tanky Sven.
This Juggernaut doesn't have TP, so they're on the hunt. Healing Ward does go down, but looks like YapzOr not going to try to cut off his retreat, and instead going to just farm it up a little bit.
It seemed like an okay situation for PSG.LGD before they went for this long wraparound from FY. I mean, they were just desperate to find a hero, but I felt like they could have taken the tier 1 there.
I mean, this feels like the story of all 3 games. They get a little bit over-aggressive under tier 1 towers, and Secret responds. Despite all that, they were still able to win game number 1, but game number 2, Nisha.
Oh, the split earth is just a bit shy. Maybe he felt like he wasn't close enough to hit it off the disruption, tried to go for the lightning slow first.
They will secure themselves the bounty runes.
Yeah, 3 bounty runes. It's great for PSG.LGD, as they're trying to cut down the small net worth lead that Secret has right now by taking towers, taking map control. Though I felt like PSG.LGD, from my perspective anyway, Blitz, I thought they were going to walk away from the laning phase with a net worth advantage.
Me too. I thought that bottom lane should have been okay for them. The mid lane wins. Because even with the kill, the Lesh is still really far ahead of the SF, if you look at the net worth. Plus, the top lane is supposed to win very handedly. And we saw that early on. But for some crazy reason, Secret still have a net worth lead.
Combination of YapzOr's successful rotations, which has led him up there in net worth, and then also the way they've shut out this Darkseer. Chalice has not gotten that much out of the off lane. Now to all these heroes keep on showing up in his lane, really trying to pressure this tier 1 tower. They're gonna go for it though with the Fatal Fawns, threatening the golem. They're gonna drop it now, long enough to be able to get the lasso onto Maybe once again. Maybe shows up in the bottom lane and dies almost immediately. X-Nova, very optimistic TP there, my friend.
And the Yule's being queued up by mid 1. Wants that jump combo.
And look how much damage he's getting on this mid-tier 1 while the Leshrek's still dead. He might even be able to claim the tower.
I mean, they're pinging like crazy. This is his time to recover right now.
Yeah.
He's still quite far behind the Leshrek when it comes to net worth, but it's just sort of the nature of the heroes.
Secret just really not letting that Leshrak get the ball rolling when it comes to killing heroes and then taking towers. And it's buying the SF a lot of comeback time. Is 8-2. 1,000 net worth lead for Team Secret at 12 minutes in. He's securing an arcane rune for the Leshrak, who might just need to take a little bit of farming time here. I mean, how important is that Yule Scepter, do you think, for fighting against Team Secret?
It's a really nice hard reset. It sets up kills on the Shadow Fiend and makes it so that you always get the jump. It's good to set up on YapzOr. It acts as a very good defensive tool too. Plus the hard dispel.
Speaking of YapzOr, he did go with the Soul Ring and Tranquil Boots, so it's the full support, easy regen build, so he can always stay on map and always get some farm out of these lanes. But now, we're gonna find Puppey here. Maybe he's making his way over. He knows that Team Secret are very likely to still take this fight with the Fate of Wands onto. Now they managed to get the lasso out as well. Disruption going down thanks to that Fissure. They managed to stall up PSG.LGD long enough they can follow with the Echo Slam to kill the Shadow Demon, the spin on top of multiple heroes. But now they do manage to get the hold on it. Maybe once again, they just keep on doing this and they beat him down with the help of YapzOr. And all these heroes, they're tanky enough, much like game 1 where
He's got to find his way out.
The Omni Slash is going to need a spin away in 2 seconds time. Almost has it. Actually does manage to get a surge from the low ground from his Darkseer. A really good play by Chalice to ensure at least the carry doesn't die. And maybe they kill Zai as well. Give the extra boost of movement speed to X-Nova. With the Ion Shell, he'll get the dominating streak of Zai. So that fight was terrible for PSG.LGD, but at least it ends on a happy note.
I need them to, in this series, to stop trying to kill Puppey.
Yeah.
Like, it's not worth it for you. They keep trying to do it. He didn't even have Rock. They keep getting baited into going on this hero, and Warlock is one of those heroes that you think of as very, very soft on paper, but I mean, he's got a heal, and he's got decent stats.
Pull the creep wave off the tower, but it doesn't matter. Mid-1 recognizes that it's low enough he can commit, and PSG.LGD, I mean, they're trying to commit for the safe lane tower, but Zai actually thinks that maybe he can defend it or something. They're doing a lot of Fatal Bonds damage. Look at that.
He does get it, and that's impressive considering Batrider, not a great animation, one of the lower base damages that you'll get, as we see here again. They do it under the shrine, so there's so much time to respond. He's got 1200 HP, raindrops, and a stick, plus his heal. He hides in the corner.
Also, that duo has no damage. That support duo, just not that great at being able to burst down these heroes because the Sven is pretty low on damage. They needed maybe to get a bit closer, but by the time he shows up, Batrider and the SF are already there. YapzOr hit that really good Fissure as well.
That's why we don't see Sven often as a support, because half of his toolkit doesn't actually help you at all as a support. His cleave and his ulti are effectively just kind of useless on you because you have no items. You're never going to really find opportunities to utilize that, as Zai finds the pickoff, lines it up for the raises for mid-1. The healing ward's going to go down to Ame, going to spin his way out of this one as Chalice gets
the Yule Scepter. Are they going to be able to slow him down? Yeah, they've got him. The upheaval, the sticky napalm. What I also like about this is Batrider looks so good. And I think a large part is the fact they've got two supports with just excellent reach, right? Yes. We've got the Golem that can drop just for a small second. Is all the Batrider needs to close that distance. Same goes with the Fissure.
If you're a fan of PSG.LGD though, calm down. Everything's still okay because your top two cores still lead the game.
And they only need like one really good pickoff to start breaking away. They're gonna try and go for Nisha here, but seeing the mass teleports, okay, I like this. PSG.LGD just kind of resetting and saying, you know, that's good enough. We actually forced a lot of TPs.
Yeah, this Jug is still getting very good farm. This Leshrac is still getting very good farm despite the deaths.
That's not good for PSG.LGD though. YapzOr has a Blink Dagger at 16 minutes. So now you've got a big team fight item.
Still, despite all that and the 13-3 kill lead and the mid tower that they took, plus the denied tower at bottom, it's only 1K in favor of Team Secret.
Yeah. They could just find a way to take this tier 1 mid, start opening up the map a bit more for themselves.
Yeah, I still think this is a very 50-50-ish game, as they're going to run into Zai here.
Omni Slash, oh no, it went onto the Golem! Great use of that by Puppey. Now the Yule Scepter, they know he still has spins, so they can't hard commit, but a great Fissure. Now the Echo Slam from YapzOr, revealing the Blink Dagger. Killing the carry of PSG.LGD. We said that was the high point. Maybe Nisha, if they can actually trade this out though, this would be okay. Zai's gonna TP in. They're gonna use the glyph to make sure the creep survives, so Nisha's still gonna fall. And now all this AoE damage, he actually lassoed up the Leshrac, but he's taking too much. He will be able to fly away as YapzOr once again comes to the rescue. Bouncing back to Chalice. They do manage to get the Stormbolt. Yule Scepter stopping him. Managed to get off that surge down, and now X-Nova slowed down to a crawl. YapzOr can blink in front of him if he wants to make that kind of commitment. FY's gonna come forward. They do manage to kill Zai with a disruption onto the SF, slowing down this damage. Still, another enchant totem hitting onto X-Nova, and they're just gonna let loose the ultimate just in case. The SF wanted to make sure that they could not go. And
Fatal Bonds damage, enough to get the kill, but still that Juggernaut pickoff is gonna be the big bounty for Team Secret. They did lose the Spectre during that time, and so Jug still leads the leaderboard, but Ame has just been not so on point with his ultimates.
Yeah. I mean, well countered by PSG.LGD, and at one point was a little unlucky, but also just doesn't feel like PSG.LGD is setting up these fights very successfully.
No, it feels very rushed.
Yeah.
We're going to see here again at bottom lane, Ame.
You see a hero, just cast it immediately. But like Secret, it feels like every single fight, PSG.LGD, even though they're the ones starting the engagement, Secret has more heroes there.
Yeah, it's just really how they operate. Don't let lone heroes get picked off. Try to save everybody. Get out as clean as possible. As you see Nisha, he knows he messed up too.
Yeah.
When he got caught mid.
I was very surprised to see him in mid lane out of all the lanes, but also past the river at all.
So far in the battle of Burning's tier 1 carries.
Oh, that's right. Burning did say both. He had Ame and Nisha as his kind of top tier, S tier carries. And right now, anyway, Team Secret is coming out on top when it comes to this series. As far as their carrying in this game, I actually feel like it's come more down to everybody else on the team, right? Because the games have oftentimes become so one-sided.
And Ame, they need him to perform here. 0, 1, and 2, not the kind of impact that they're hoping from their star player who is going to go for the Radiance Juggernaut build. He's going to need to get something like a Linken's, though, at some point, I think.
Yeah.
He just needs HP. There's so many different ways to burst him. They have 2 different ways to cut through the spin TP, which really cuts the Juggernaut's effectiveness.
Oh, and there's the Radiance from the Spectre.
Yeah, this is a scary item. They do have Healing Ward, which is one of the best ways to deal with it.
Yeah. But then Secret, they also have Fatal Bonds. We've seen how effective that has been in many of these fights.
18-5, 1K gold lead for Secret. So PSG.LGD, every single time they lose a team fight, they just split up and farm. Everybody else is still hitting creeps. They still have their tier 1 tower available to the bottom lane.
Does seem like one of the strengths of PSG.LGD is that even when they're losing fights, they still don't fall that far behind in net worth.
Yeah, that's the strength of both these teams, in a way.
Kind of weird.
They just have cores that continue to pick up pace.
You see our odds, GG bet odds, very favorable for Team Secret. As this is, I mean, just watching Game 1 and Game 2 does seem like Secret once again are having that advantage by 25 minutes. We'll see if they can get another pick off on Nisha. It would be massive. The purge is slowing him down. It does a lot, but nobody from PSG.LGD can follow.
That delay looked like it took a while.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. He's got a Shrine active.
I'm surprised that they decided to go for the Jug Radiance, by the way. Considering you have the SD illusions.
Oh, yeah. What do you think a better build would be then? The Diffusal Manta or?
Yeah. Plus you have SD. Like, you can just send the illusions out to deal with waves. Like, they'll just push out naturally. They're very strong.
Yeah.
You have your own Radiance when you disrupt the Spectre.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, feels a little bit redundant in a way. Zai, he knows he's been spotted.
Smoke's gonna pop. X-Nova, oh, with a Flame Break only knocking him to the side, not backwards, and he's gonna turn around. He managed to get the Storm Bolt off. So Zai's smoke is gonna be ruined. And they do get a heavy push in this top lane. Maybe managed to accomplish that. There's gonna be the haunt. They thought they found him in time, but YapzOr, who was smoked up running this direction with his Blink Dagger, is just a bit too far away. And this is a great opportunity. PSG.LGD, I think at this point, you definitely try and take a fight. You just saw a smoke break. You saw Haunt be used. You've got your Radiance as well.
Yeah, I think the timing is very good. I'd like to see them smoke here. There's no way you're waiting for the full Manta before you take a fight, right?
No, no way.
But it's in fact Secret that are going to go for it. I could see both teams just smoking into each other right now. PSG.LGD, they're making sure there's no wards.
With the double damage rune, I mean, again, this is one of those smokes where an opportunity presents itself, and PSG.LGD, they're on the wrong side of the map right now. Tier 2 creeps, doing a lot of damage. They probably think to themselves, like, okay, let's just take this tower, perhaps, but all the meanwhile, this Roshan is dropping fast.
Maybe they think that Secret's just straight up smoked and still looking around.
Yeah. That's going to be an early Aegis for Nisha. So we see that a very cool Roshan animation on stage.
And a very fortunate DD rune for an SF who doesn't really have a right-click build.
Yeah.
Allows that to happen is now they go for the smoke.
You know, you could say it's lucky, but I feel like Team Secret is always getting the power runes.
Yeah,
you know?
it's partially because they control the map.
Yeah.
That is what will always scale in your favor, is they spot the Spectre mid, not the best target that they could go for because there is a Warlock Golem that will follow up. So they want to go on Puppey instead.
They're trying to catch Puppey. They do manage to get the really long-range purchase. He's going to turn around, just rock immediately. Nisha's going to run in. God Strength is going to be popped. They managed to get the disruption onto this Spectre. They're going to try and blow up that first life as quick as possible, but there is a position for good upheaval. They also got a really good Fatal Bond, so a lot of PSG.LGD is quite low, and they just need to retreat, I think, at this point. Maybe cannot afford anybody to take more damage. And Chalice, fissured up, Secret. They see that PSG.LGD is waiting for their offlaner. They're not going to abandon him. So that wasn't too bad. PSG.LGD almost immediately taking away that Aegis.
That was great for them. They got the Rock out of the way, plus they got the Aegis that they just picked up. They smoked for that too. And
so you just go again, right?
Yeah, I could see them making another aggressive maneuver. They don't have the SD ults or the Darkseer wall, but they're not as dependent on those abilities to fight. And that's the best part about playing Leshrac in this meta is he's always down to fight.
Yeah.
He's your 2 position that pushes out waves, farms up everything, never really falls far behind, and he's always ready to go with team fights. That's why we see Sumail go for example, like that move speed, boots of travel build, so that he can be as global, as mobile as possible.
We saw that last game, and well, maybe actually doesn't trust that same build. He's going to go for a faster Octarine. It's still general movement speed build. He just doesn't go the Kaya Yasha, as Kaya Yule's boots of travel.
And that's fine. He just thinks he needs more HP, which I would agree with.
Oh, especially against the Yule's SF and this Earthshaker. They've got hard lockdown aplenty. Shattered even trying to go for that 25-minute bounty rune. Does manage to get it and gets out. PSG.LGD, they actually just got all 4.
Yeah, now this gold lead is cut to barely 1K. And this was kind of the concern as we saw the kill score get racked up, but the actual gold never really fluctuated. It's been 1K this entire time. After Roshan, it got all the way up to 2, but that's the largest lead that I've personally seen this game.
We saw from the bounty tracker there, gotten about 3,000 of their net worth advantage on the side of PSG.LGD from all the extra bounties they've gotten. EG, Liquid, Secret, top 3 when it comes to fast Roshans. All the top tier Western teams.
LGD near the bottom of that list with Alliance. I mean, Alliance lost all but 2 of their games, so it's not too surprising that they didn't get a lot of opportunities as they get the jump.
Lasso, they're going to try and get him with a haunt here. Throw everything they have in this Juggernaut, try and pound him down to the ground, and they do manage to get him. No buyback available either, so this is not a fight that PSG.LGD can win. All they can do is try and stem the loss as much as possible, but Zai, he just keeps on running forward. He managed to find now FY, bouncing back with the flame break, mid one, jumping forward. They're going to try and go for the Centaur stun. Do manage to get a really good wall out as well with this soul bind, but maybe they can, they're just running out of damage at this point, especially since maybe couldn't successfully TP in. If he's gotten that Boots of Travel and maybe been able to run down some heroes with his Pulse Nova, they could have killed something. But
I think they canceled actually because of mid one's BKB pop.
Yeah, probably.
It's very hard to fight that at that point, and just a good jump overall by Secret. They still have the Warlock Rock, and I need to see this Juggernaut and his build sort of play out.
Yeah. It's been a disappointing performance for Ame, who's 0-2-2 right now. Secret win a fight, push in top, and they don't immediately break apart. They'll send the SF to bottom lane. So we're gonna look at that fight again. Just that rapid initiation, especially with Yapstor ready to go on the side. Even if there was a bunch of PSG.LGD heroes ready to jump in, Yapstor could have just echoed slammed them instead of committing for the Juggernaut. So it was pretty much a well set up fight for Secret. And I feel like that's the big difference between these two teams. We've seen LGD rush a lot of their engagements.
I mean, most of the time, they're sending their Jug in first to try to be in the forefront. He gets jumped on, and they have so much control that they can just burst him every time. As soon as they get the Bat Rider
has a lasso and a haste rune. They've got a Yule Scepter for this Leshrac, but I don't know how he survives. They're going to drop the Golem. Yapstor gets on top of him as well with his Blink Dagger and Chant Totem hit. And just booking it over there. Oh. That wasn't the play. Mid one accidentally Yule Sceptering himself.
He did get the kill, though, at the last hit on the Lesh.
Yep.
So he's okay for gold.
Absolutely.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Samantha Illusions pushing out top lane, but Secret. Yule's Fisher setting up these raises, just keeping X-Nova controlled up, and I don't know about this blitz. Maybe he was still dead. Ame is only just TPing to that shrine. I feel like you can't afford these kind of pickoffs. Ame just kind of challenging here. Looking to kill that creep wave.
He's gonna spin in and out as
they're gonna get Fisher in for the side. They do manage to get the Omni Slash onto Puppy, so that'll be a freebie. Not sure how much they can chase, especially as they lose their Centaur.
They're gonna trade the Darkseer creep for Puppy, so the gold is actually pretty even.
that is true.
It's the XP, and you just need to get Ame on the board, I feel.
Yeah.
Like he needed that kill.
Mass rotations down to bottom lane, where once again, Zai is leading the charge.
To find anything, though. It's looking in the tree line, but looks like PSG.LGD have learned their lesson from the previous game. Secret will hunt you.
Once they get a Scythe of Ice on this Shadow Fiend, or that's just one more thing they have to worry about, right? For the Juggernaut, when it comes to that hard initiation.
Yeah, that's why I feel like you would have preferred to see a different build from him. But that's okay. He's hard committed to this, and who am I to say?
It's double boots of travel. Feels like Team Secret is everywhere around the map, especially when they have so much mobility and movement speed and blink daggers as well.
I believe that was an Octarine I just saw finished up. Has to be for the Lesh, right?
Yeah, our Leshrac is got that complete now. He's gonna go for a BKB next.
That's his counter, I think, to the Spectre dispersion.
Yeah, but at the same time, like a BKB would feel, I think, a lot better for this next engagement. How much magic damage they have?
I think so too, but I imagine the reason why he goes for it is for the raw HP that it serves you as well.
Yeah.
Plus, Octarine just feels really good on Lesh.
If they can if they get this Octarine and they can win the next fight, it'll mean our Leshrac is going to scale better later into the game, right?
Yeah.
That's definitely something that PSG.LGD, they got to be a bit worried about right now, because this game has stalled out. It's a 4,000 net worth for Team Secret. I can't imagine you're going to get one of those giant windfalls you got game one, especially with this kind of movement around the map. Always finding these pickoffs.
Dude, Zai's been everywhere
Zai,
in this game.
how can you stop this guy when he's running at like 500 movement speed?
He has set up the last like 6 kills, I think, for Team Secret, and he's found cores every single time. He's not finding some FY, he's finding either Ame or he's finding maybe. He's just punishing them, and now the top 2 net worths in the game belong to Secret. The net worth lead, it just continues to steadily climb. SF getting in position right now, gets disrupted. They're trying to save Chalice here. Zai still on the hunt. Doesn't have his ulti quite yet. He's gonna get purged. But is there a follow-up? Ame
Vacuum as well. X-Nova didn't have that Stormhammer ready to go just yet. Now they're going to get the upheaval. X-Nova knowing that he's in trouble. The Echo Slam jumping to the high ground. They managed to get the Juggernaut. Can they lock him down? They managed to get the spin. Now
they get the shrine.
Can they actually fight underneath this one? They've got the healing ward as well. That one dies. As mid one committed his BKB. The Yule Scepter. Okay, they just managed to stop Chalice in his place as soon as he goes for the surge. PSG.LGD actually thought they're going to go back in for this fight, but now they've been fighting balance up, and now they lost their carry. Is the lasso, the double hit from the Rays with the Fatal Bonds. That wipes PSG.LGD on their side of the map, so Team Secret are healthy enough. They're ready to go for a high ground push.
The creep wave is right here. They've got the golem down on the ground. Zai, the perfect timing back for his ultimate. And the Juggernaut didn't get his off the entire engagement.
Yeah.
They needed that damage. It looked like it was going to be a great reset for them, too. The Echo Slam didn't do nearly enough. They got the Shrine off. They got the healing ward. But just no real opportunities for them to fight. I think part of the problem, too, is the fact that their Sven that they picked up, we just haven't seen it do anything.
Yeah.
It didn't win the lane. He doesn't really contribute nearly as much as Puppy does when we just compare the 5 positions.
And it looks even worse when, as you said, this whole entire drafting concept was to be able to give you a better carry last pick, right? Where you were like, you thought it was just Sven, but surprise, it's actually Juggernaut. But our Juggernaut has had no game whatsoever either.
Yes, they're going to, you see the fight right here. Ame, you can see mid ulti, gets Yule Sceptered up. I mean, Secret, this should be a bad fight for them. They chase uphill, they don't kill the Jug. The Rock doesn't really do anything. Everyone's at full HP.
but Ame just does no damage, especially as you can see he was like totally out of that fight. Then somebody must have made the call to try and fight again, but Ame's not had much of a game, and there's no maybe, so they pretty much are out of damage at that point.
Plus the Fatal Bonds. Can we actually compare the 5-position hero damage?
Oh yeah, because the Fatal Bonds is doing massive amounts of work in this game. As you can see, the damage dealt are Sven only at 5.7k. Nice vacuum Stormhammer! That's a beauty, but they do manage to get their Force Staffs as well. Their BKB.
Nisha's low.
Nisha's low, though. They're going to be able to finish him off. The Spectre Illusion's running forward with the Radiance Burn as well. Puppey just saying, I'm going to give up my life, lay it down just to make sure at least mid one escapes from this. And it looks like Yapsor will as well, as Ame spots him a little bit late.
They finally get a pretty decent fight together. Darkseer setting all of that up.
And PSG.LGD, they have really good pushing power, so when you win a fight, they're going to be able to go for tier 2s, and I say absolutely go for it here. Go for the full lane of Brax. At least try and force the buyback out of the Spectre, which we know she actually doesn't have. PSG.LGD, they got to play for a win.
And part of what allowed them to win game number 1 was their decisiveness, and they're going to go for it again. They see the opportunity. Secret, they don't want to hard engage. Mid one doesn't have buyback himself or the BKB, so this should be a free tier 3 tower, and all of a sudden, PSG.LGD, they found their way into the base. They might actually be even in racks after this.
They do have Echo Slam as well as Lasso, so PSG.LGD do need to be careful as they leave the base to make sure none of their carries get picked up. But Zai, he's not going to go for it. Team Secret playing it super safe, and PSG.LGD really evening out the game. They just lost their mid lane of Barracks, managed to win a fight, take Secrets away. Goes to show that even if Secret is ahead, 5, 6, 7,000 net worth, this game can turn on a dime against them.
We saw the hero damage difference between X-Nova and the Warlock, but...
Yeah, what was the... 14,000 compared to 6.6k for the Sven. Not to mention, our old Warlock can also do some healing.
And a BKB
completed
by the left
lane. They're going to run into FY here. A quick pounce from Team Secret, an easy kill, but nothing that is game defining. Because I'm not sure if Team Secret to feel confident enough. Well, no. Maybe just a Shadow Demon pick-off is enough for them to do Roshan. We'll have to see. It is going to be a tough fight, though. PSG.LGD, they have the Wall of Replica up for the Darkseer. And there's pretty much no better engagement than a Roshan fight for that ability.
Yeah, they bought back with FY. They want to hard commit to this.
Ame's coming in from the side, is going to be able to kill some vision to start things off. Just make sure they have an advantage. There's going to be the hot mid one pops BKB, and it's turning. There's going to be the gold. They drop the SF ultimate. They will be able to finish off the Shadow Demon. That's a dive. But now the other side six on the.
It's only hitting the rock.
The rock doesn't even die to all of that. The SF is fine. Nisha's at half health, and he's ready to go back in as well as he sees that Ame feels uncomfortable with this. He's actually just going to keep going. He doesn't really have a ton of backup here.
Yeah, the SD popped back for that and died. He's gonna get stunned up right now. The Lincoln's is popped, but he manages his way off. He's just trying to stick around the wall at this point.
Yeah. All the Secret have to do is just play patient. They do have this big push that's coming in the bottom lane. It's nice, but Secret, no. Man, losing a tier 3 there isn't gonna change the game. What is gonna change the game is this Roshan fight.
Yeah, 30 seconds for this SD. The wall finally finishes up. They still have the big Echo Slam. Zai went in for it, but in the wrong order.
Oh, they're back in the 4-man! The 4-man's done! Ame spinning on in. The Splitter is only going to be able to catch the Warlock here. The self-fuels onto mid one. They need to be able to finish him off. The Radiance Burn. It brings him down. Echo Slam now from Yapsor. That's going to be able to finish off the Sven and the Darkseer, but Ame is still plenty healthy. The healing ward is not enough to keep maybe alive. He does have buyback. They need to be able to get Ame out of here and raise 7. He actually spins and goes for it. TP's away. Decides better. Thinks Yapsor's going to kill. He may be able to have it too, especially when Maybe, who cuts him off the boot to travel. Now, Maybe, he's going to run to mid one as well, who has a fresh BKB, but
this was the buyback.
Zai does not have the lasso. They have the Fatal Bonds on Maybe as well. Slow down the upheaval. He self-fuels. Ame spinning in, trying to help him out. The force.
They need to disrupt him.
Trying to chase him down. They need to be able to save Maybe. He's almost dead, but no! And sometimes it's not. Spectre, Dagger trying to get to him. The Purge. He's catching up. He burns him. Ever so barely. He gets the
dive back on, maybe. And Ame, he's still trying to fight this one out. He sees some supports. He's going to be able to go for Puppy here. Chase him down with the spin. Self-golem, though. Explosion.
It's just Ame.
They are already broken the lid. They're going to be able to grab with the lasso as well. He hits the enchant on him. He's dead. He has a buyback. Darkseer's up in 5. Sven up in 15. And Secret, they don't have the power, I think, to take this Roshan. But they're going to try. Actually, Roshan's super low. It's only a 2k HP. Darkseer, he's going to be too far away. Ame, he can't get there in time. He can't TP out, so they are going to be able to get the Aegis and Sheath. Now they have to make sure they don't get picked off here. There's no lasso, but there is a Eul's.
Ame's still in the area. He's got to be careful.
They do have the Storm Hammer into the vacuum once again with the wall. Oh, great setup. Nisha's in trouble, but they still manage to finish up their Darkseer. But Nisha, he's about to fall here. His first life is gone. A very healthy Ame, but X-Nova's being beaten down by this Golem as he takes out from the Flame Break bit by bit. Looks like the Radiance Burn. They will be able to find him. Ame has his Lincolns broken. They're going to try and haunt over into him, but he's underneath their shrine right now, and I think Secret realizing that they're not so sure about this fight. Zai's going to keep the sticky napalm up, but they're just going to go for every other hero. That isn't Ame. He does manage to get the Purge, and it is going to be breaking Nisha for a little while, but Ame wants to be able to get Zai instead. He's being guided so much by this.
He's got the ult.
He's down with the lasso. He's holding him down. Nisha's beating him 1, 2, 3, and that's it. 5 dead from LGD with no buybacks. 30 seconds left on the majority of PSG.LGD.
You see YapzOr hold his heart right there as everyone bought back for that fight. And Secret barely hold on. What a fantastic job they did with kiting. Zai lived throughout that entire engagement.
Absolutely insane by our Batrider, just always kiting these heroes around with the constant sticky napalm, setting Nisha up in a good position. It's not going to be the end of the game, but it is a one fight for Team Secret.
And it looks so good for PSG.LGD here.
Yes.
When they stack them all together.
But he managed to get, once again, that vacuum. They have the Omni Slash with the wall out, but still, they're doing so much damage to Nisha that all the dispersion damage just bounces back, kills the Darkseer, brings the Sven super low.
Once again,
the
Zai
lasso
found somebody.
into the ultimate challenge. It's going to be hit by the Golem as well. He does have that surge. Another Eul's Scepter going down. They're going to pop the BKB for mid one. They really want this Darkseer. They saw how much power he does in these team fights. Maybe he's going to come from the side. They managed to get the vacuum out, but Chalice is still dead. Maybe he's going to try and run down mid one, but he realizes he can't commit, especially with Nisha in the way. So instead, maybe they can go for Zai, who's slowing down
more
right now. Managed to get the Flame Break, bump over to the side. Still another 40 seconds for the carries. Juggernaut and Sven.
They're going to go for throw.
They're going to go straight for the throw. They know. They saw it. They saw the way, maybe. Ame couldn't defend. 1 versus 5. Maybe. He's certainly not going to be able to do the same. But their damage is so slow. Maybe finally makes his way back to the fountain here.
He's going to have to do this by himself.
A Glyph is going to go.
He's got the ulti.
Ame, I mean, if he could just buy like 10 seconds time, enough for the Sven and Ame to be able to come back up. But now the throne is exposed. Even if the damage is slow, it is inevitable here. Maybe finds his opportunity, but they're going to call it here even before they go for the Batrider. That is it, Team Secret. LGD managed to make it a little bit close, but Team Secret closing out at the end of the game 3. They are going to the grand finals.
Zai is an absolute beast. What a Batrider performance that was.
It's not too often you really get to emphasize how strong a Batrider performance is that late into the game, but Zai finding so many openings, being able to play out long team fights. I mean, he was powerful in every single one of these fights, and not just with the lasso, but with these constant sticky napalms, being able to kite these heroes around, just slow them. For Nisha to follow up with his hard-hitting Spectre.
He always found the core targets. They always started the fights with the Batrider initiation into the haunt, making everyone's game easier. Great game from both sides, though.
Absolutely. PSG.LGD showing world-class team fighting there. So many great vacuums set up by Chalice with the walls, and X-Nova always being able to follow up with the Stormbolt as well. Just absolutely well done for them to be able to make a showing here in this game 3 in what was Team Secret.